So now we're in the final step of assigning assessments to our class. And in this video, we are going to go over how to create your own assessment. So from the assessments tab, you can go to a new assessment, but instead of going to browse from the library, you're going to choose create assessment. And this takes you to the question bank. You can also just jump straight to the question bank by clicking this tab from your dashboard. And it'll take you to the question bank where you can make your own quiz or assessment. Now, there are two ways to add questions to your own quiz. You can find questions from the pre-made question bank, or you can author a new question. You can also find questions from the question bank if you are editing a pre-made assessment. So the way that I can use the question bank is much in the same way that I would search for an assessment. I choose my grade, my subject, my standards. I want to go back and I want to choose an NBT 1. And I want it to be from Eureka. And now I have all of these assessments, questions that I can choose to add to my assessment. I can also filter by DOK if I want to work on DOK 3 and scroll through. Let's say I really like this question, so I'm going to add it to my quiz. Let's say there's a question that I want to ask my students that is not in the question bank. I'm going to go up here to author a new question. And I have all these options for multiple choice, multiple selection, drop down, essay, true false, text entry. And there are also these tech enhanced ones. For now, I'm just going to choose a simple multiple choice. And I can enter a question like, what is 10 times more than 100? And I can enter my answer choices. I can choose 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. I can choose this to be the correct answer. If I want it to be searchable, I can also choose which standard this applies to. These are my recently used, and I can also browse. I know that it applies to this standard. I can choose the DOK. I can choose the difficulty level. I can tag it if I want it to be searchable. I can put in the solution. And then once I'm ready, I can just click save and proceed. Now I am back at the review questions page that we saw earlier. And here I can edit questions. I can drag, I can delete, I can change point values. Once I'm happy with my assessment, whether it's 2 questions or 30 questions, I can save it. I can also preview it. I can add more questions. I can author a new question if I'm not finished. But I am finished for now. I want to make sure that my standards match. And then I'm going to click publish or assign. I'm happy with my open and close dates. I'm going to assign it to my whole class. I'm not going to modify any of the superpowers or mastery. And I'm going to click assign. Now, since this is a test that I made, I can change the sharing level. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a district available test. And that is it. Now I have learned how to assign a pre-made assessment, make changes to a pre-made assessment, and make my own assessment to give to my students.